In my 20s, I was kind of all over the place. Chasing goals, relationships, trying to figure out who I was through other people and stuff that I thought I should want. But honestly, none of that really helped me find myself. It actually wasn't until my 30s that I actually started slowing down and paying attention to the little things, the quiet moments, that I actually began to feel like me. If you're feeling a little lost or like you're still trying to figure things out, you're definitely not alone. I'm right here with you, and I want to share what's helped me start coming back to myself, little by little. So here are some lessons that didn't really click until my 30s. But if you're listening sometime before your 30s, I hope it helps. So today I want to talk about my 5 biggest healing lessons that I learned in my 30s that my 20s could never have taught me. So lesson number 1 is creating a home within myself. I never really felt at home in my life, and I thought that would maybe change when I left for college. But in my 20s, I moved around a lot, always chasing new cities, new friendships, new experiences. I guess I thought a change of scenery would fix me. But anytime things got difficult, I would purge that life and start fresh elsewhere, much like a snake shedding its skin. But I think what I was chasing was the ability to feel safe and at home within myself, which again, I've never had. I never really realized how dependent I had become on other people. I was always needing someone around to do things with in order to validate the things I wanted to do, or I always needed to have somebody that I could call in order to validate and hear out my feelings. And I always looked to someone else to see what was cool or appropriate or fitting for the environment. I take a lot of social cues from other people, and I never really, even thought about like what I wanted or what I thought was cool or how to validate my own feelings and desires and emotions. I'm almost sad looking back on my 20s now because that girl spent 10 years trying to find something that felt like home. And now in my 30s, I'm carving out the space to create that feeling of home within myself. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's literally lesson 1 and I'm emotional. But yeah, I'm creating that feeling of home within myself so that no matter where I go and no matter who I'm with or around, I can always come home to me. Create a home within yourself and you will never be lost. Lesson number 2, and a big one that I'm still kind of working through, is letting go of timelines. Societal pressure tells you to be married, successful, and settled by the time you're 30. And I always thought that by my 30s, I would at least have hit some of my goals. Does being a mother count? Because I never wanted to be a wife or a mother, but I did want to be a successful artist and run my own gallery and host networking events in my space. And I thought by 30 I'd have some of that achieved or accomplished or like at least be on my way a little bit. Life had other plans. But around my 28th year, I started having really bad anxiety around my future. And that anxiety led to overwhelm, which led to depression, which led to me not being able to move at all, basically. Not being able to make any moves that I was proud of that felt right. It led me into a massive life pause. I went into autopilot, just getting through each day, day by day, and not really doing more than the bare minimum to keep me alive. So now instead of being a free creative, I'm a 32-year-old waitress and a crazy cat lady who's accidentally given up on all endeavors of fun and creativity and playtime. But this realization is what made me turn to YouTube to document my journey and to get back into a little bit of a creative practice. And I often think things like, oh, I'm too old, or it's too late. Or what if someone I know follows my channel or finds my channel and judges my video diaries? But these are just the thoughts that keep me stuck and unproductive. So ignore the norm, ignore the haters, and ignore the timeline in which you think it's supposed to happen. Supposed to. Just follow what feels right in your gut. Trust your intuition and trust yourself to be able to handle whatever happens, whatever comes your way, even if things don't go according to plan or even if shit hits the fan. Like, trust yourself to be able to handle that and let go of whatever the timeline is supposed to look like. The timeline is yours to create. Lesson number 3 is choosing peace over people pleasing. I feel like, especially as women, we really want people to like us. So we tend to act in favor of the people that we're around, or the people we're trying to impress, or the people we're trying to get to like us. And what I have for that is choose peace instead. Being agreeable, being likable, kind of dimming your own light so that you're not blinding everyone else or shrinking yourself to kind of fit the conversation. We've all done this. You know what I'm talking about here. For example, I used to feel really guilty saying no. I always wanted to be the cool girlfriend who was super chill and like doesn't get mad about stuff, or like I wanted to be the down for whatever friend so bad. Because I wanted the people in my life to like me, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think it became detrimental when it was at the cost of my own voice, my own happiness, my own desires and feelings. And I did it so much so that I forgot what my own needs and desires even were. It's definitely one of the bigger lessons for me, for sure. Now I protect my peace like it's sacred, because it is. So while I am still learning how to fill my own cup, I do know what I do and don't like, and I'm a social person. And so I need to make friend plans like once or twice a week. I also know that I recharge alone in creative spaces, so I need to carve out 2 days a week to be able to scrapbook, do my video diaries, go to ceramics class, whatever it is. I need to be able to recharge alone in a creative space. I also need to go to 2 hot yoga classes a week. I love my people, but I need to explicitly carve out time for the things that are going to fill my cup and make me feel good, because otherwise, like, I don't have anything to pour into anyone else's cup. I can't be there for my friends if I haven't been there for myself. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Choosing peace over people pleasing. What a concept. Lesson number 4 is softening how I talk to myself. My inner voice used to honestly be kind of a mean girl, always judging me, calling me out for my mistakes, and reminding me how I should be better. Never really telling me what better was, though. Never being like, oh, you could do this better or that better. No, just be better. That's a mean thing to say to your friend or somebody that you care about. My inner voice was usually the first to point and laugh anytime I felt insecure or vulnerable or embarrassed about something. Man, I honestly hated her for a long ass time. But she is me. Therefore, I guess I have the ability to change her, to make her nicer, to make her a little softer, a little bit more loving. So now when I have a negative thought, or I'm feeling self-conscious, or just having negative self-talk in any way, now what I'll do is I will talk myself down out loud. If I did something that makes me feel really stupid, or I made a mistake, and instead of being like, oh, I'm so freaking dumb, like, how did I do something so dumb? Instead, I will be like, okay, you know what? Time out. You made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. It wasn't stupid of you. It wasn't dumb of you. And in fact, this is an easy enough mistake to fix. Like, we can fix this one step at a time. Let's not beat ourselves up about it and make it worse than it already is. And I will talk to myself like that out loud, literally like, hey, babe, you're not dumb. It's okay. I will hold my hand. I will hug me. We're practicing being nice here. If I'm feeling lazy or like self-deprecating, instead of being like, oh, I'm such a lazy piece of shit, I'll be like, okay, you know what? You must need the rest. You must be burnt out. You must be tired. You must need the rest. Your body would not be requiring this. Your body would not be forcing you to take the rest if you didn't need the rest. So stop beating yourself up. And this is literally how I will talk myself down. And I will, because usually the negative self-talk happens in my head. The positive reinforcement needs to happen out loud. Otherwise, I'll stay circling that conversation in my head for fucking ever. So the second it comes up in my head, out loud, I will say, whoa, 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 whoa. Where's that coming from? And how can we turn it around? Because practice makes perfect. So be a little nicer to yourself, because you have to spend every day with this person. You. And spending every day for the rest of your life with a bully sounds miserable. Spending every day for the rest of your life with somebody who beats you down every time you make a mistake or makes you feel like crap every time you need to recharge or to slow down or to refocus. Nobody wants to be with a person like that. So don't be that person to yourself. It's rude. It's mean. It doesn't work. And then my last important lesson is fall in love with the ordinary. I used to wait for big moments to feel alive. Big moves to big cities, big loves and big friendship groups, big moments that made it feel like life was finally happening to me. I thought I needed the extraordinary to be fulfilled with my story. But in truth, I think that was just my trauma brain not being able to sit in silence and enjoy the little things. Always needing something going on because chaos was the norm. But somewhere in my 30s, I honestly just got tired. Too tired to put out little fires. Too tired to juggle personalities and try to fit in with whoever I was talking to. Too tired to be the outgoing friend. And honestly, way too tired for the big moments. I became more of an observer than an active participant in my life because it was all I had the energy to do. And at first, it was soul-sucking. But then one day, I noticed a butterfly dancing by. And this is going to sound so cheesy. But hear me out. I noticed this butterfly dancing by me. I noticed a really juicy sunset and the color of the room at golden hour with the sunshine just peeking through the windows. I noticed how happy my little babies are just sitting at home waiting for me to come give them cuddles. The sounds of the kids playing at the park or by the pool, their imaginations igniting my own creativity and playfulness. I didn't expect it, but that's where I started to really heal. In the rhythm of small, sacred things in the everyday that I used to think had no real importance. So these days, I try not to sit around and wait for the big moments, the big flashy happenings. I try to create them instead by being present and noticing the tiny, mundane miracles happening all around me every day. The fact that we even get to be here is a freaking miracle. And through all of the ups and the downs, I'm very, very grateful to call this my life. And I can't wait to see what else happens. What's the best that could happen? I hope you're feeling as good as I am today. I got my little coffee in a cup I made that matches my shirt. Like what? And I'm feeling really good. And I hope you are too, because you deserve it. So girl, if you're also in your 30s, a little lost, a little confused, a little unsure, you're not alone. Hopefully some of this advice was useful, and if you didn't need any of this advice and you just sat here to listen anyway, thanks, love you. So yeah, hopefully some of that was helpful, useful, insightful in any way, shape, or form. That's really it. I love you. I thank you for being here. And one last thing before I sign off. Success, healing, and finding yourself doesn't come in one big wave. And the journey, it's never ending. We'll always be learning and creating ourselves. So if your 30s feels like a weird purgatory for you too, you're not behind. You're still becoming. Thanks for being here, listening to me rant. Let's wrap it out in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.